Hello, Sweetwater One. I hope all of you are doing really well on the first day of school in the year of the coronavirus. We've had a lot of changes this year, and after walking through several buildings today, some of the feedback that we received from our staff was they're not quite sure how exactly this could look in the classroom when you're teaching your computer-based education students at the same time as your in-person students. We thought it would be a good idea to do a quick tutorial, just a few minutes, to kind of step you through how that process could look and really what the easiest way is to get that set up and functioning in your classroom. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my computer. So perhaps this is the day before, perhaps this is the morning of, but I know that I need to have a class meeting link for all of my classes for the day, or maybe it's just one meeting link for the entire day. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you're signed into your Google account. We see my little mouse up there. I'm going to click on the icons and go to the Google Calendar. Once I'm in the Google Calendar, I want to create a new meeting. We can do that by clicking here on the Create button in the top left corner. I'm going to give this a title, Stephanie's Test Class. The other thing I'd like to do is add Google Meet video conferencing. Now, I know that some teachers are actually using this already through their Google Classrooms, and that's okay. You don't have to commit just to this Google Meeting. If you have a Google Meet that you set up in your Google Classroom, you can actually click on the little pencil right here and edit that link. So you'll just copy and paste that batch of letters from your Google Classroom right into this meeting ID. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead. You have the option to add guests. So I'm going to add just a few folks from my department just for testing purposes. Whoops. We'll get Gwen. Okay, so we're going to add a few folks from my department. And we're going to go ahead and save this meeting. First I want to adjust my time. Sorry, I want this to be a long meeting so that I have plenty of time. And I want to make sure that we start it early enough that we'll be able to do the full demonstration. So I'm going to schedule this meeting from 1:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. You could do this all day. If that is how your class is going to operate, you can go in and schedule the meeting from 8 to 3:30 if that's easier for you. The key thing with the time is that's going to help you when you go to sign into the Google Meet. And if you share this with your students, it's going to help them also when they go to sign into the meeting. So I'm going to click Save. And I do want to go ahead and send the invitation email. Okay, so now we have created our Google meeting. The next thing I want to do is go over to my iPad. So on my iPad here, you can see that I have Google Meet right here. Okay, so we see there's the new meeting option and we also have the meeting code, but the beautiful thing is that calendar event that we just created shows up down at the bottom right here for Stephanie's Test Class. Now, if that's not showing up, you're going to want to take a minute to make sure that you're signed in that top left corner with your Google account. If it's not your Google account, you can simply do the drop-down menu and add another account. Sign in with your Google credentials. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and join Stephanie's Test Class. Join the meeting. And what this is going to do is give me the ability to see my class and my class the ability to see me, so I don't have to worry about maneuvering my laptop around the classroom. As we see, Zach's already joined us. Thank you, Zach. The other thing I'll tell you to do before you jump in on your computer is to mute your microphone on your iPad and turn the volume all the way down on your iPad. This is going to prevent some of that squealy feedback that we get in some of those meetings where there's multiple people in the same room meeting in the same Google Meet room, so you get the feedback and the high-pitched noise. If you mute your iPad, you're not going to have that problem. Now that we've joined the meeting on the iPad, I want to go over to my calendar event, and I'm just going to click on my meeting. That's going to bring it up for us. I'm going to join now. Now on my computer, I want to go ahead and keep my sound and my microphone enabled. I know some folks, as they've been plugged into their Promethean boards, have been having some issues where students couldn't hear them, but you can check that setting down in this bottom right corner with more options and go to settings. And here you can make sure that it's pulling your default microphone and speakers, or if you have external speakers plugged in, that's fine too. Okay, so now I'm all set up and I'm ready to start teaching my class for the day. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is find a good spot to put my iPad where it will show me in the classroom where I'm going to be teaching. Now until the swivel cameras arrive, I realize this limits movement and it makes it a little tough, but for now you can just prop it up on a desk in front of the room, on your desk if it's facing towards the board. So I'm going to find the best solution for mine right here, and then I'll join you at the front of the room. Okay, so now that I am at the front of the classroom, I've set my iPad here on the corner of my desk, and that is showing me what my students are doing, and any student that's talking, their picture is going to come up big on this screen. So if I want to see what the view is for my students of me, I'm going to click on my picture down in the bottom right corner and click on it again when it brings it up, and then I can see the view that my camera is giving at home. Now, that's not what I really want to see. I want to see what my students are doing. So I'm just going to unpin myself by clicking my little pin. Okay, so then any student that is speaking is going to be the student who's active on this screen. Now, if I'm ready to teach a lesson, or maybe I want to go over expectations or the syllabus for the class or the assignment for the class, on my computer, I'm going to come over here and use Present Now. And I recommend that you present your entire screen unless you know there's a specific window you have open that is the only thing you want to show. The reason for this is if you're switching between applications or between Chrome windows, it's going to be a lot easier if it's just watching your whole screen the entire time. For now, I'm going to go ahead and present my entire screen. I'm going to select the screen here in the middle and click Share. Okay, so now if we switch back to the iPad view, we will see that this is what my students at home are seeing. Okay, so if I go to my computer and I change to my calendar, this is what my students at home are seeing. If I wanted to open up a Word document, looking on the iPad, that gives me the ability, and mind you, I'm just watching this over here, but that's what my students are seeing at home. Okay. Now, if you want to kind of take a quick peek and see what everyone in my class is up to, so if I click on the iPad and click on the people, then that's going to bring up this view with all the cameras of the students as they're sitting at home. Go back, we can go back to what we're presenting on the screen, and that's really how your day is going to look until we have the swivel cameras. I will say that this setup is very, very similar to what we're going to be doing when the swivel cameras come. The key difference with those will be that they're sat inside a robot or the swivel piece, and you have the lanyard on, and then the iPad will actually move on a tripod and follow you around the room as you teach. So getting really comfortable in this setting is going to be hugely beneficial to all of our teachers as they start to move forward and we get the swivel cameras in and we get more comfortable in this new reality. The one last little bit of information I'd like to give you is for recording your lessons. We have asked that all of our teachers record their lessons so that students can go back and review them as needed. You'll notice, and I'm sure many of you have, that you don't have the option to record on your iPad. What we're going to ask you to do, since you're in your meeting with both devices, is go to the meeting in your classroom on your computer, and from here you can go ahead and record the meeting. So we'll click on the little three dots in the bottom right hand corner, click Record Meeting, and once you stop the recording, it's going to upload it to your Google Drive to be able to share with the students in your class. As always, if you guys have any questions as we're working through this new time, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask us. We are really excited to help you. We think Sweetwater One is leading in changing the way education is going to look, and I'm really excited to be a part of this, and I wish you all the best of luck. Have a great week.